All right, a little bit of lead time. Coming in with some lead time. Test. All right, working on this Volkswagen series. Always been fascinated by Beetles. I used to own one. I love little Beetles. So it was probably a crummy little car, but we sure did like it. It got us where we needed to go. That's really all that matters, ain't it? All right, so, let's get the glaze in the rest of this. And it means I need to figure out what color I want the Volkswagens to be. Quit piddling with that. All right, so let's get a little bit of medium. We'll just put it in one of these little cups. I think we'll just use some of this medium that I've made. That's probably way too much, but that's okay. And we'll use this fan brush. This filbert. And I don't really need to oil the whole thing because I'm really just going to paint. It's got nice texture. Ooh, I like that. But I'm just going to put this on the whole thing because I want to have even layers of paint over this whole thing. And if I don't do that, then I could end up with one part of it shiny and one part of it not shiny. That would look funky after all this work. All right, let me turn this a little bit so I can see it. Nice little even coat on there. Alright, so same story as the last several videos. Got a busted up rotator cuff, not a cup. By the way, just so you know, it's a rotator cuff and not a rotator cup. So, if you've been saying it wrong, don't keep saying it wrong. Alright. My other life, I'm a novelist, and so I write a lot of books. Words mean a lot, so drives me crazy. People using the wrong words. All right, there we go. Okay, let's get a little Ogre's paint thinner out. Clean this brush. And we'll get on with this. We won't put much more medium on there at all. I'll clean that brush. And you can hear this when it's going over the trees. All that texture in the bark. That's nice. That's nice. All right, let's get this done. So I'll use another filbert. I think I'll try this one. We'll see how this goes. I have a smaller one too. I might use that. Let me think about that. Okay, so one of these Volkswagens is gonna be red. I think it'll be that one. That one. So we want 3 colors of red. So we're gonna want like the darker tone, the mid tone, and the highlight tone. So and then we'll need other colors too. So we'll put on the palette, we'll put some alizarin crimson. We'll put some bright red. And then, to lighten bright red to more lighter red, without turning it pink, you need to use something like cat orange. That'll help it. If you add white to try to lighten it red, then you're just going to get pink. Oh, and I see a spot here where I didn't finish the bumpers last time either, so we'll do that too. On this car, on this little Beetle. All right, let's start off with the darker colors. Now you'll see me switching hands back and forth. Whatever is more convenient for my rotator, that's what you're gonna get. And I think this side of the car is a lot lighter than this side of the car is a lot lighter than the other side. Sitting back up in the woods. Excuse me. All right. Let's add a little bit of this red now. Now, the alizarin crimson is a transparent color, and bright red is not. So, it's going to have a little bit of an impact, but not much. And a little bit of that bright red up here. We're going to add a little bit more of here we go. All right, looks pretty good. Now let's add some cad orange. All right, and let's put some of that in here. All right, looks pretty good. Let's clean the brush. All right, and I'm going to blend this, but I think I'll just use a fan brush, a small fan brush, to do that. All right. I'll probably use that some more, so I'll put that to the side. All right. I'm going to want to outline some of this, so let's start off. Let's get some ivory black on the palette, and I want just a little bit of white and a touch of black. Oh, that's a strong black. All right, that's okay though. Let's see how this looks. We're not going to clean that brush, we're just going to layer it up a little bit. And it's going to have some moss and stuff growing on it too, but before we do that, let's clean the brushes and put them away. We'll get them back out when we need them. I have a habit sometimes I get in a hurry, I start parking them, and then, suddenly I have too many brushes out at one time. Not good for a guy with ADD. All right, let's see. Let's work on the fine lines a little bit. So this part under here is all dark. just the tires. And we'll use some of that gray on this in a minute. Well, let's get it all in there. All right. Probably have to use a script liner on some of this. We'll see in a second. Maybe not. I don't need a big bold line. I just need a kind of a shadowing line. That looks pretty good, actually. So let's just kind of keep that going. We're going to need a little more paint than that to do this window jam. There we go. It doesn't have to be straight because this girl, she's kind of beat up. So now I'll come back into the gray. Just a little bit more of that. Because like back here. We're going to want to keep that gray for this part out here. Maybe even a little lighter than that, maybe. Let's try this. I know later you guys will be watching this and you'll be like, oh, he didn't say much. Well, I don't have much to say really right now. If I think of something more to say while I'm working on it, I will add it to the voiceover. All right, let's try to carry some of that same color into the bumpers. Looks pretty good. All right, let's clean this brush. Put it away, get a filbert back out. work on this last one. Now this last one, I didn't have to think about the color. It's just going to be, it has to be green. That's what color that's what color my little beetle was. So it just has to be green. It just has to be. The thing is what did I do with the green? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to need some green in a minute anyway. I'm going to get out some sap green. I think this is phthalo. This might be a little too bright, but we'll give it a spin and see what it looks like. I think it might look a little too candy colored, but we'll see. We'll see. Quote one of my friends, maybe we'll make it a little bluier or something. He's a good guy. All right, here we go. I don't know, that looks pretty good. Of course, we don't want this to look too fancy because she's all beat up, right? So we'll just leave it the color. I think we'll just leave it. And then we'll change this green color as we move into the grass. We'll put something a little different in. Okay, now this part over here, this green part, a little bit of darker color. Because it's back in the shade. It's back in the shade. There we go. So it's got a color mix here. This is still phthalo green, just a touch of ivory black. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, I'm happy with that. It didn't take long for that part anyway. Okay, so clean the brush. Let's try it again. Here we go. Oh Lord, where'd that red come from? All right, let's clean it again. There we go. All right, let's pick up some of this gray we've been using here. All right. Oh, gotta do the windshield. Windshield's going to be kind of the same thing, although it's going to be a little darker than what we had up there. So let's kind of we'll darken this up some more in a minute. Okay. All right, let's touch that up a little bit. All right, so I want a little more dark. A little more dark than that. just blend this with this filbert. All right, now let's touch up that green just a tad. Wrong brush. Come here, you. Well, as I always say, it wouldn't be a live stream without dropping a paintbrush. God, never drop a paintbrush when I'm not on. All right. Uh-oh, alarm. Okay, now that's going to have grass, so it's not going to be. All right, now, but however I managed to do it, I left the front line off of this red Volkswagen, so let's put it back. We'll do this with a little bit of red. I mean, a little bit of alizarin crimson. Just like that. There we go. And a little more like that. And some like that. All right. Okay, we'll start moving toward the end here. I would venture to say that's probably, I don't know, I don't have it marked anywhere. But hang on a second, let me get a tube of satin cream. Just so happens I have a brand spanking new tube of satin cream. Ta-da! All right. First time I've used this Win satin cream. I'm really hoping I'm going to like it. I've always used Bob Ross satin cream, but I don't have any, and I can't seem to find a source. So, all right. Let's just do that. Let's do this with a filbert, because I think that's what I was doing it with to start with. So let's get some satin cream, and let's lay all this underpinning out. Yeah, that was it. We're going to put it all up in here. We're not going to smush it around too much just yet. We're just going to kind of put it in here. Smush it around, just kind of glaze it in there. Let's add a little darker to that. There we go, that looks better. All right. Now we're gonna blend this before we start adding the other colors. So let's just kind of. The reason I'm kind of flipping it here is I want the paint to move up some. And then let's see, let's pick some of that and some of this. And we want kind of grass growing down this side of this particular beetle. And across this one a little bit, like that. Okay. Now, start the final highlight. We'll just stick with this fan brush, I think. It works pretty good. Let's use this. I've been using this color quite a bit. Bismuth yellow. I like it. It's a nice. I think what I like about it the most is that I'm always usually using it for a highlight, so it's a top coat, and this paint is relatively thin, so. And as you can see, it's going a good long way. I'm just going to wipe the brush. I'm not going to clean it. I'm just going to pick up the yellow again. Probably should have started on this side, but it's okay. It'll work itself out. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch to a 1-inch brush for this last coat. So let's do that. So I want this side over here to stay a little bit darker, right? You with me on that? So let's add some sap green to that. So we can add some highlight, but still keep it nice and smushy. All right. More yellow. A little more sap green, just to add some highlights. Okay, now a little bit of both over here. I'm going to tip this out just a little bit. If I get to that corner, there we go. And with that, I think that wraps this up. All right, guys, it's been an interesting journey. I've enjoyed doing this little Volkswagen run. Did some things we haven't done before, so that's pretty cool. So now we will be moving on to the next. This was the last of a series of six, I think. Underpaintings that I had done. I think I'm going to add a little bit of dark over here while I'm talking. And so we're done with that now. So we're going to move on. We've got another bunch of different, just adding a little character here. Doubling up these shadows. Of some different types of paintings that are underpainted. So hopefully you guys will like that. They'll be here short. They'll be coming up shortly. And I appreciate you coming to watch me. If you would, leave a like and a subscribe. And from Ben Stiver's Fine Art, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.